Everything on PlayStation, WAVE91.7FM. Good morning to you. My name is Adekunle Adejumo. Together, let's kickstart the program this morning, looking at some reflections as I take you to the Zamfara State House of Assembly, where the Assembly, in its latest sitting, has suspended two local government chairmen over alleged financial misappropriation. And that got me thinking about the state of our state. Yes, please think in that way. The state of our state, because we have a lot of local government chairpersons in Rivers State who operate in isolation and almost operate in dormancy. Yet, nothing in terms of development is happening in their respective local government area. I could remember the golden days when you had the likes of Ichemati, Chijoke Hunwa, what's the other? Reginald. They are, fine gentlemen. I could remember those days, but I do not know what's going on with the current administrations at the local government level. It's quite confusing and at the same time confounding. So maybe while we focus strength on pursuing someone who needs to stand on the mandate, the State House of Assembly should also ask critical questions in this direction as regards to how and to what use the monies that comes to these local government are put into. No, little wonder why everything that has to do with the little construction in some of these local government areas, the only name that the people can remember is the governor of the state, because they have even not been able to sink in the belief that they have local government chairpersons. And until we get to that level of transparency, we may just continue to ask God for everything. That said, Governor Caleb Mutfwang of Plateau State has disappointed Nigeria and himself as a result of the fact that he decided to put some clarity to the statements made by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu when he did his airport condolence visit halfway into the States. So Caleb Mutfwang has come out to explain to Nigerians in what he believes to be the best of explanation, one that is very laudable, one that can help the National Aeronautic Space Agency to shoot Artemis 3. And he says that the president's comment was not in reference to the fact that Plateau State as a whole does not have electricity, but the runway at the airports. And I asked myself, in the midst of all the important questions and the solutions that ought to be propagated, is this worth the while? Does it even worth a reason to be at the sitting and begin to give a very unreasonable explanations? Is that the reason why you were elected? To defend the situation of light at the runway, and even at that, it still questions what exactly is being done in terms of supervision, and even with the likes of the airport authority on why a runway should not have, the light that it's supposed to have, especially for flight that could touch down at night. Well, you're welcome. That's the leaders that you have elected. And that's the dividend of democracy that they are providing. Let's bring it back to Rivers State. Dear Governor Siminalayi Fubara, today is Thursday, April 9, 2026 it is. I wouldn't, do the alteration of telling you that it's 2025, so I don't bring back the pains of state of emergency. But Governor Siminalayi Fubara, there's every need for us as a people and for Rivers people to have the reintroduction of monthly environmental sanitation. Trust me, even those who had pushed against it, they now see the reason for us to do so. Have you tried visiting Ikwere Road? Have you tried visiting areas around the warfare? Have you tried going to, where else? Where else with that? Okay. Oh, that would be the Ikwere section. It also has its own, form of trouble. Governor Siminalayi Fubara, I believe you understand what I'm talking about, and I do not want you to see this as a misuse of privilege, because I still sits in that shoe as your self-appointed advisor on matters that could cause trouble. So please, let's do the needful. And do not forget that the commercial drivers are now realizing that we have more touts on our roads than police officers. So we can do the needful with those individuals and maybe find them plausible employment in the state, or maybe some sort of reformation, just so we save and give Rivers State a facelift. And that's it on the reflections this morning. Let's bring you up to speed with our talking point on Real Talk. The space is becoming ever charged than Nigerians had expected it to be. And one of the interesting facts about it is it's coming quite early. And it's also coming on the heels of the 2027 general election. Many Nigerians complain about the policies of the current APC administration. Maybe not the APC that wears the same garment as worn by the former President Muhammadu Buhari, but the APC that has chosen a different regalia for itself. And yes, you cannot take away some of the successes recorded by this administration, but at the same time, Nigerians have gray areas that they think deserve attention, and those areas have not been attended to or poorly attended to. And one of those areas is the perception that the country as a whole is gradually sliding into a one-party system. The perception is not even helped with the fact that contradictory court judgment tends to further reinforce that belief that there is something behind the drive to make work or substantiate the position of having a one-party system. And all of that built up, leading to factions amongst the major political parties in Nigeria today, and even the one that called itself a coalition, getting involved as well with a faction, with the breakaway of Nafiu Bala, who had earlier been reported to resign with official document to that effect, coming back to say he deserves to be the national leader of the party. That contention led to the filing of suits, and from there, an appeal moved forward by David Mark-led ADC. And the result of that appeal is the judgment of the appeal court asking that status quo remains, or status quo antebellum be observed. In compliance or trying to observe that status quo, it has only ended up giving birth to more quarrel and troublesome moments as protests across party lines, especially the factionalized ones, seems to be harmonizing and consolidating itself against the current administration and even the court by extension. Now, in respect to that, something interesting happened in the country yesterday where the former governor of Rivers State, Rotimi Amechi, accused authorities of restricting the registration of new political parties, suggesting it was driven by fears of electoral defeat. And this is coming on the heels of the protest that he joined or led to talk against the treatment that the African Democratic Congress is witnessing, with pointers to the All Progressives Congress. Here is what Rotimi Amechi has to say on it. One of those who had actually appeared on the ground of the protest and also stood side by side, Rotimi Chibike Amechi, is Dino Milaye, a chieftain of the African Democratic Congress as well, who has also come out to make mention of the fact that the protest that was carried out yesterday showed a growing public dissatisfaction with the All Progressives Congress led government. And he says that the current administration is scared of actually going to the polls despite the fact that they have all resources at their disposal.
The protest proved to me that we Nigerians are actually ready to kick out the APC from government because there was no mobilization of any sort. We are really encouraged and amazed with the response of Nigerians to show that they are tired of the APC, they are tired of maladministration, they are tired of hunger, they are tired of the ineptitude that the APC-led government brought to the country. The essence of the protest is one, to say that democracy in this country will continue to be government of the people, by the people, and for the people. We have agreed that we will never allow democracy to be described in APC terms as greediocracy. This is government of the greedy, by the greedy, and for the greedy. And we have also demonstrated by this protest today that the leadership of ADC is united. You can see Kwankwaso, you can see Amechi, you can see Vice President Atiku Abubakar, and Obi Peter Obi, and a host of others. They are all together to say that we must rescue our nation from these political cankerworms and scavengers who are here simply to destroy our country. And we also use the protest today to say that the attack is not on ADC, that the attack is actually on democracy and democratic institutions in this country. That it is laughable that the APC wants INEC to become a parastatal or a department of the presidency. And in a same country, we are not going to allow that to we will not allow that to happen, because the truth of the matter is that President Bola Ahmed is afraid of elections. He doesn't want any election because he doesn't even trust people in the APC, that he knows the people in the APC are deceiving him. He knows that the implosion that is going through the APC right now will consume him. So he doesn't want any opposition.
It looks like a critical time as it apparently wakes up sleeping giants in the country. One of those who also seems to be awoken to these matter is the former president of the country, President Olusegun Obasanjo, who has also come out to make his own contribution to the matter at hand, describing the current administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu as one that has frustrated the landscape of business and also driven progress in the country to a point where it ought not to be. Let's take a listen to what former President Olusegun Obasanjo had to say on this matter, as he also joined his voice to, the protests going on in the country at this time with respect to the opposition political parties pushing back on the current administration.
When you have an ineffective